This week we're talking about Hamilton's Pier 8 development, areas that you should invest in around it, and CF Limeridge Mall's proposed towers. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. We are super excited to have you. I'm your host, Justin. This is our other host, Brandy.
Hi.
We gotta do a quick tan check. I think it's getting close, right? You're getting tan for the wedding?
I went to a tanning bed.
You went to a tanning bed? How was that? I haven't been to a tanning bed in years.
Felt shameful, but I don't care.
Yeah? Why? It's nice.
Getting married, you can't have tan lines.
Yeah, sometimes it's nice in the bed though.
Yeah.
I remember when I used to go.
Yeah.
But today we have a super exciting topic. We're talking about the Pier 8 development. This is something that has been in the works for years and years and years. There's still a lot of proposals on the table. Things still aren't set in stone, but one thing that is set in stone is it's moving forward like it's gonna happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is awesome. But
I was just gonna say, if you're not really familiar with Hamilton, or you're just not sure what Pier 8 is, if you go down to Bayfront, there's there's Williams, the cafe, and then there's that skating rink, and it's that whole area around it and behind where there used to be just, I guess it was gravel and parking lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, building all up there. So the development's pretty huge. I know you have the numbers for the residential. They're looking to build what, like 1,300 residential. They're doing like 40,000 square feet of commercial space, which is huge. And then I know they want to build a 1.6 kilometer basically promenade walkway along the waterfront, which is amazing.
Yeah.
But it's pretty cool development. I know you were looking into the developer.
Yeah, and we're gonna flash some pictures here because I think this development is so beautiful. This developer paired up with 3 big major architects in Ontario, and their basically design is built around pairing new with the old. So they're going to preserve the look of Hamilton, including steel and then new modern brick material. And they're all about modern, futuristic, and preserving the past. And I love that.
Which is awesome. And I know of those units, 1,300 being built, I know there was a provision put in there for affordable housing, which people are always talking about. I think it was 5% was allotted. So that's, I think it ends up being 65 units.
Yeah.
And the one thing that's cool about it, they said, they got to be, 65, these 65 units, whatever, have to be at least a 2-bedroom, which is good because then that helps people that have like a kid or, I don't know, a small family or something, find a little bit more space.
Yeah, and the whole idea of it too is to not just be development. There's going to be a mix of commercial, business, housing, towns. They have a allotted amount of towns that they're going to put in there, and I think it's going to be so beautiful.
Yeah, they want street level towns on every block.
Yeah.
That's what I was reading, which is cool.
Another big thing is they wanted more accessibility for people to get to the waterfront, because if you go down there right now, it's not very accessible, and I think that's an awesome idea they have too.
It is. It has been lacking. Like, I mean, obviously the trails are beautiful. Like, that's nice to walk in, the parks, the events, and that has always been great, but it's going to be so cool to have kind of that district, where we can go. And even all the local shops they were talking about, they want all the retailers or restaurants and that sort of thing. They want it to be all local operators. So you have to be a local operator to have retail space in there, which I think we're going to see a lot of cool things pop up there, as opposed to just becoming a spot for these big chain stores and that type of thing. Yeah. So that's really neat.
It kind of reminds me of, they used to have this mission, I don't know how familiar people are with Toronto, but the Queen's Quay, Queen's Quay, however you say it, they had the same idea. They wanted people in the city to have more access to waterfront and be a little more diverse and not just so concentrated in one area, and I think it's such a cool concept.
I would love it. I hope we end up seeing some kind of bar near the water.
Me
nice
too.
patio.
Yeah, definitely, you have to.
Priorities, right?
Yeah.
And the breakdown of the residential units is actually pretty interesting. So they are going to be condo units. They're not going to be rentals, but 60% are 1-bedrooms.
Yeah.
So
we can add the link as well in here. They are have access already to signing up for whenever they release them, but
yeah. And then the next second large, so 60% is 1-bedroom, so that's over 700 units, and then over 400 units are the 2-bedroom, and then then it's a mix of bachelor and 3 bedrooms, but 3 bedrooms is at the bottom, and I think part of the reason with these new builds, like the construction costs, when you look at every new construction building that's come up in Hamilton and even Grimsby, I went to that Century one, they're going around $1,000 a square foot. So when you think, and those are 2-bedroom units that are, 800-900 square feet. When you try to get something that's 3 bedrooms and it's 1,000 square feet, which you need at least that for 3 bedrooms, and they're going to be charging like $1 million for those. So I mean, I think part of it too is they're trying to think the reason they're doing so many 1 bedrooms is it's really all people can afford when they're like 500-600 square feet. That keeps it around the 500-600 mark. Right?
Affordability, and if I just think about our demographic, and sometimes I always think you're older, but our demographic and people.
How much older do you always think I am?
I don't know why. I think the young business mentality, they don't, less space, more convenience, and that whole city living with single bedroom, and then you have your shops down there and your bars and one big thing coming together. It'll be cool.
So cool. I'm so excited for it.
I want to buy one.
Great. You know what? I don't know if I'd buy one for investment. I might. I don't know. I guess it depends on the prices.
Yeah.
But just even that location to the GO train, like what a game changer that whole area is going to be. Because right now when you get past that GO train between that and the water, I find that it's kind of like there's nothing spectacular about it.
I agree.
Right? It kind of, you got that James Street hype up until Barton Street, up until the GO, and then it just kind of falls off a bit there by the water. So I think now that they're bringing that, boom, it's just going to bring the whole area up.
I agree.
So cool.
Yeah.
What do you guys think of the development? We'd love to hear it. Actually, before we move on, do you have anything else to add to this topic? Or?
I could talk forever about this. So if you guys want to know more information about it, just message us. I've done so much research on it. I think it's so exciting, and it brings a lot of character to Hamilton. It'll be a great future.
Absolutely. We love to hear what you think. Drop comments below. We love hearing from you guys. So let us know what you think.
Now moving on to our next topic, the top areas we think you should invest in going into the future.
Exactly. And a lot of these areas we're kind of doing mostly around the Pier 8 development. Biggest reason is being everything that's going to bring to the area. So start kicking it off. Strathcona.
Yeah.
I think the north end is going to be a big boost there. We're going to see it because it's one of those bordering the Pier 8 areas, right?
I'm biased because I already live here, but Barton Street runs along it. It's kind of stigmatized, but if you go to the end of Barton where it meets Locke, it's a really nice area. It's lots of community. Like I've mentioned in the past, everyone has a texting group. Houses aren't for sale as often there, and when they are, they go really quick. I had one around the corner that was up for maybe a week even in this market. So.
Yeah, and that's the thing, like you hit the nail on the head with the Barton Street, because it does have that stigma. But you know what? Barton Street West, like there's east and west.
Exactly.
East is, it's come a long way. But west is beautiful. It's it's almost a completely different vibe. It's pretty much once you hit that James Street West is where it starts to kick in.
Yeah.
And it's nice.
Yep. And then we have north and west. So this is also called Pier 4. And these houses to me are so beautiful because it's a little mix of old and new. A lot of people, I have found that houses don't go for sale as often here because when people get one, they hold on to them. They're already a little bit pricier just because it's such a great area, but I see these going up in the future a lot as this development comes to Hamilton.
Of course, because that's one thing to remember too is this new development's coming, and yes, there's a lot of units that are going to be coming into the area, but keep in mind these are all condos and they're townhouses. There's going to be that demand to have the walkability to that area, but live in a house. That's going to be there.
Yeah.
So I think this is a good time to pick something up that is a detached house in sort of those bordering areas.
Yeah, because don't forget, as beautiful as developments are, these places won't have yards.
Yeah.
So people with pets and children, they're still going to want to be there without that. So.
Yeah, super cool. But what do you guys think? These are the areas we think. Maybe we're missing something. Maybe you guys see a different area.
Yeah.
But let us know what you think about these areas. We'd love to hear it. All right, shifting into our next topic, we want to talk about this proposed development that CF Limeridge came out with, I guess, a few days ago. If you haven't heard about it in the news, you must be under a rock or something, because I'm seeing it everywhere. But we're going to talk a little bit about it, just kind of give our insights on how we see it affecting the area and what it's going to look like. So I'm going to pass it over to Brandy.
Yeah, so the CF centers are really well known for bringing shopping and development to the next level. They have Sherway, they have, I'm pretty sure, is it Yorkdale? They have a whole bunch throughout Toronto, and they're all about that indoor-outdoor shopping experience. And their proposed development that they have for this one is they're gonna have 2 major towers of residential, and then they're gonna have the mall, they're restructuring the front of it, and then in between, they're gonna have a walking eatery kind of situation, which I love. Eat, shop, live, that's fun.
Eat, shop, live.
Yeah.
It's a way of life, eh?
Yeah.
And I mean, that parking lot is pretty much always empty.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
it's a waste.
Yeah, it's dead space. The Sears, they've never really been able to fill it properly.
No.
I think Urban Behavior's in there right now.
Yeah.
But it's such a huge floor areas, and there really is no big anchor tenants anymore like Sears, like the Bay. Like, they just don't want that much square footage, right? Yeah. So it's just not feasible. But
they're also putting in, like every other mall has done, and it's really smart, a parking garage. So a stacked parking garage, get rid of all that square footage on the ground, where they're gonna have trees, grass, urban area. That'd be cool.
And it's such a major hub. The one thing I did wish was that we did have a little bit better transit going to that area all over the city. But I mean, I know a lot of the buses do collect there. It is a big hub for that. Yeah. So, but that's okay. We'll see how it improves things. I know there's that. The other mall that everybody's talking about is the Eastgate one. They're going to put some towers there. Well, the proposed towers anyways. That one's pretty cool because that one's actually going to be along the LRT if, when that gets eventually done.
When? Yeah.
Right? When. Yeah. That's, it's going to be right on that LRT line. So that I think is a huge opportunity as well. The one thing I haven't seen, and I don't know if any of you guys know this, please comment because I haven't been able to read or find anywhere if these are going to be condos, the residential towers, if they're condos for sale or if they're rentals.
I don't think they've put that out yet because I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen anything in any of the articles. That's why if you guys know anything or you know something we don't, please let us know. So we'd be excited to find out. But do you have anything else you want to add on that?
I think that's it.
Yeah? You're good?
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for joining us again this week. It is a pleasure making these videos for you. We look forward to doing it every week. Thanks for your constant support, the views, the likes. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. I gotta say it. Please subscribe. Hit the little bell if you want to get notified. Please. Hit the little bell if you want to get notified every time we come out with a new episode. But thanks again for joining us this week, and we'll talk to you again next week.
See you later, guys.